Hi everyone. Tonight is going to be a very fast, short live stream. I will be working a little bit on this shot here, which you see in this window, and I don't have a lot of time unfortunately tonight. I have to be up extra early tomorrow, and it took me almost an hour to resolve some computer issues. I've been having tons of issues recently getting these live streams to play and be in sync. So. If you like these videos, please feel free to leave a comment. Let me know because they've been driving me nuts. Okay, so I'm going to quick play this so you can see where this was left off. Let me just turn the volume a little bit so make sure you can hear it. And this is still in a blocking phase, and this is the last segment of this shot. He's talking about his eyeglasses and why there's no glass in them.
No glass.
Oh, yeah. They just kept getting dirty, so I took them out. I don't have to clean them anymore.
No glass.
Oh, yeah. They just kept getting dirty, so I took them out. I don't have to clean them anymore.
No glass.
Oh, yeah. They just kept getting dirty, so I took them out. I don't have to clean them anymore.
So if you watched my last video, you saw that this first part of the shot ended up being the main focus. And I think what I want to work on tonight is just this little transition here. I only have a few main sort of poses, and I'd like to flesh this out a little bit more. And if you have any questions while I do that, please, as always, leave them in the chat, or if you're watching on the replay, ask a question. I will be happy to answer it. So I'm using the GUI picker here, and this allows me to select the different joints of the character. This is the Jules rig, which I have access to as an alumni from Animation Mentor, and this is a really great school, and I highly recommend if you're looking to study animation, checking out animationmentor.com. You'll get a great education there. Alright, so let's cut to the chase. Like I said, I really do not have a lot of time to focus tonight. These red tick marks are the different keyframes, and right now he is, I'm going to pull this GUI picker off to the side. We don't need to see that right now. Each one of these frames is a pose. So you can see that this is long hold here, and then with this motion. So there's no anticipation to this motion, and then he just hits it, and there's no sort of settle to that. So let me just quickly select his shoulder here. So I have his shoulder joint selected. You'll see that that controls the shoulder. And I'm going to go into my graph editor here. Oops, hello. And where was I? Sorry. I'm going to my graph editor, and I'm going to start working on this. I want to hear what all happens audio-wise here.
So I took them out. They just kept getting dirty, so I took them out.
I'm going to turn the audio so you can hear this. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it otherwise. He says so, and then I took them out. But in between there, there's a little bit of a breathiness. So that's going to work nice towards hopefully giving me an anticipation moment going into my pose. So just looking, thinking. All right, so this frame here, I'll move a little earlier. And then I'm going to scrub to make sure I'm not missing any keyframes. Sometimes there's something that didn't get part of the character set, and it gets left behind when you pull the frame over. But I should be good. Yep. So I moved it 4 frames to the left, and now I'm going to use that original position as where I'm going to build the anticipation. So just 1 second here. Just going to briefly switch the camera to me. Thought that I had a backup maybe starting, and I wanted to quickly hide that. Okay. Now you got to see some of the messy room I'm in. Okay. And that's the stream you're probably seeing pop through there. Okay. All right. Back to the task. So I'm going to, where's my GUI picker now? I'm going to look at starting from the body for my anticipation. So the lowest waist node. So you can see his hips rotate back. So I'm going to do basically the opposite of that. A little bit down, and I'd rather have the hips sort of drive his overall motion, but the hips make a big change, so I have to be relatively subtle. And maybe timing-wise, let's just see what that looks like timing-wise. Just to get a sense of whether or not that's placement-wise is going to be working. So all the play blasts. We'll just wait a second here. So here's a question for anyone watching. I'm trying to figure out what to do next for a little animation here. I've been working on this shot for a while. I was never really that into the audio for it. Initially I thought that I would just sort of burn through this pretty quick, but it ended up being that I just didn't have a lot of time to devote to it. So I sort of sat dormant for a month at one point, and I'm sort of thinking it might be more fun to do a bunch of short, like 2 to 3 second long clips. Maybe do a dragon, or you know, even just simple tutorials like a bouncing ball, maybe some basic things like that. You know, I don't know. Let me know if you have comments, thoughts. All right, so let's just play this section just to see for timing.
Sorry, I took.
Let's loop that. Sorry.
Sorry, I took. Sorry, I took. Sorry. I took, 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 sorry.
All right, I think that's maybe a little bit. I'm going to move it a couple frames earlier. 1 frame earlier, I should say. Just get to deselect. Move the whole thing a couple frames earlier there. And now, go back to this pose. All right. I'm going to open up the chest because he's breathing in. And right now I'm just sort of looking at sort of generic body mechanics. You can hopefully see now, because I'm going from having his body. Where's my hand? Sorry, let's do this hand. That's more the way he's facing. He's sitting like this, so I moved his hips forward. That allowed me to arch to do this. If I hadn't moved his hips forward, he would have just done this, or I'd have to like do the, you know, and you don't breathe in like that. So I have to move him forward to do this. That helps. Feels like his chest opens up to breathe. You can see that maybe in this window here. So before and then as he goes to breathe. And then we tend to, as humans, want to really keep our eyes from bouncing around a lot. So I'm going to look at, from a frame standpoint, we use this grease pencil tool. Just make sure that's turned on. So I have a line here for his eyes. And I'm going to look at actually bringing that head down to maintain that placement of the eyes. Interestingly enough, so this is where it's really important to look at your reference, act stuff out. Just trying to think of how the head was moving, and I realized that I was having the neck go down. I really need the neck to open to let more air in, and then the chin will probably come down in the head. Alright, so let's get this a bit more. If you're wondering why the glasses seem to float for a second, it's because they're parented to the face, so it's waiting for the keyframe from the face to be set, and then the glasses will jump. Alright, let me get rid of this grease pencil mark. And we'll do another play blast here. See what sort of thing we get. While that play blasts, let's pretend this is a bouncy ball. Boing. 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 Oosh. Boing. Boing. Oosh. Boing. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay. So
I took him out.
So that plays.
So I took him out. 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 So
I think that's feeling pretty good. I'm going to get a little shoulder work on that. So what's interesting is that this shoulder on this side here, it's going to raise when he lifts the arm, right? I think that I'm actually going to start having this shoulder move into that position just slightly so that I can be pulling that arm, be a little bit ahead of how the arm is moving. Oops. So I clicked the wrong space. A little drastic, pull it down just a touch. So just pulling back a tiny bit. And I'm going to actually do this shoulder do a little similar lift up. Twist it a bit, maybe it's a little too heavy. And now I'm going to use my tween key here to just quickly sort of reposition the shoulder that it's falling more in between. So okay, let's do a quick play blast of that. Play blasting is really crucial. So yeah, if you have, like I said before, if you have thoughts on what you would like to see me do in a future video, you know, maybe some short clips talking about posing, maybe pick a specific topic and cover that. Like I said, whether it's just a simple bouncing ball tutorial about squash and stretch, or to do like a second long shot of a dragon or something.
So I took him out. 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 So.
All right. And now we have this big jump between here and here on the hand. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 frames before. We select that hand, which is controlled by inverse kinematics, or IK. I'm going to let's see. I'm going to set my first. Let's use the tween key to just give me a little motion there. So I'm looking now at the hand here where we have, let's say, the initial anticipation. Which way does the hand roll? So I'm going to open, let's see. I'm going to put my hands on the table here, and I'm going to just think. Actually, I think it's going to be more of a little bit of a finger thing. I'm going to just use the little master cup control since this is out of frame. But I like to have that, just helps me to think, you know, about what's the hand really doing. So not a little much on that. And I'm going to need to actually shift this all over a frame because I can tell that I'm going to need more than one frame in between this pose of the hand here and this pose of the hand. That's a lot of distance to cover. So I have 4 frames in between there. 1, 2. If I cushion out of that, which means that I stick towards the original position more. So this would be halfway. Oops, hold on, I'm still at the hand selected. Sorry. Okay. If I go halfway, the hand goes here. But I don't like halfway. It's not going to be even. It's going to have drag and be delayed. So I'm going to look at what 1/8 is. And this is, like I said, just to get general sense of positioning. Then on the hands, I'm going to select every one of these little hand controls. I'll make sure that I set a keyframe there if there wasn't one on all those controls already. set one here. And then the hand, I'm actually going to go a little halfway. Oh, those fingers should curl more, though. What's wrong with those fingers? Yeah, I'm not seeing any good way on these controls here. There you go. All right. Let's pull the glue picker to the side. And let's do a quick play blast. And let that run for a second. So this has been 20 minutes. Just to jump in really quick on this shot, like I said, just do a little work. I was hoping to initially put in an hour of work tonight, but that's not going to happen. I'll mute this audio first so we can watch it with just silent. So a couple things that are you're hopefully seeing is this shoulder hopefully feels like it's starting the motion and then the arm follows. You can hopefully feel the little breath of air as the chest expands. You can see that the hand and wrist is traveling on an arc, as are the fingertips. And these are just sort of roughly blocked in things, but they're already starting to convey, hopefully, those sensibilities. There's no settle. He obviously hits that pose and doesn't settle. Turn the audio back on.
I took so. 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 I took so.
All right. Let's do a save. All right. Well, it has been 22 minutes, and that was a very quick little, progress there. Let's actually do this. You know what? We just watched where we were. Go back to the first play blast from tonight, which I think should be this. So let's just watch where we started.
No glass.
Oh, yeah. They just kept getting dirty, so I took them out. So I don't have to clean them anymore.
No glass.
Oh, yeah. They just kept getting dirty, so I took them out. So I don't have to clean them anymore. I took them out. I took them. So I took them out. So I took them out. So I took them out. So I took them out.
And now where we are now.
I took so. I took so. I took so. I took so.
And now we're sort of just seeing that little snippet, but hopefully you can see that there's an improvement there. All right, that's it for tonight. I'm going to save this, and I'll hopefully jump back on and do a little bit more to maybe even tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and I am on Patreon. So if you want to become a patron, please feel free to jump over there and do so. And a huge thank you to everyone who's already done so. All right. Have a good night. Bye-bye.